Yeah, a big welcome to you, my dear Capricorn, and always a big welcome to those zodiac signs that felt like this constellation, which exists only once a year, has an inspiration for them as well. I always do the reading exactly on the day the moon is in your sign. That means when I look at the moon, I see your constellation behind it. And when I look at the sun, I see a Sagittarius constellation behind it, giving you now the light in the moon. And the moon is now going again towards the full moon. So you are going to get this influence of the guardian angel, right? And the guardian angel is here to help you, the keeper of taboos, to overcome the attachment, to see more of a liberty in bringing an exchange to the two cups. No attachment, yes to the rhythms that we have through the sexual desire within us. And so here you are invited to awaken, to become a guardian angel. As you can see, the wings here of the guardian angels turned in your card into bat wings, and sometimes the attachment that they talk about is really just the attachment to a certain outcome in this physical life. The Sagittarius energy is the ninth house of philosophy, is mutable, and the ruler is Jupiter the wise, the biggest planet in our solar system. You, on the other hand, you are cardinal, you begin the winter, your ruling planet is Saturn, and Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is also the time that we have through the teacher as that ancestor energy speaking to us. The yoga position for Sagittarius is forward bend or Paschimottanasana. Deep within, we can recognize this exchange and become ourselves the guardian angel. And for you, I used the dancer pose, dancing yourself up into the third eye, where the liberation is experienced by uniting these two people that are standing here, attached to the physical world, attached to this square. Now the court card that's connected with you is the Queen of Pentacles. As you can see, she's looking lovingly at the pentacle, which is here reversed, pointing down at the third eye. And if your birthday is between December 12th and January 8th, this is your court card if it comes up. The last reading where the sun was in Scorpio, the message was you're awakening through meditation to the mystical shaman. All right, so the depth of Scorpio has brought you to an awakening, has brought you to a realization. And I just want you to know that behind the sun is the age of Pisces. So behind Sagittarius, where the sun is right now, is the age of Pisces. And the age of Pisces speaks about a longing to awaken and come out of our subconscious. So you have behind Sagittarius the age of Pisces influencing you. And of course, I do two readings. You have one reading that is a small reading from left to right. The cycle, the earth thus spin around the sun 365 days divided through the 12 zodiac signs, then gives a month or your zodiac sign. And then on your full moon, you get a big reading from right to left, a left spinning, which is the earth that is, while it's spinning around the sun, does in itself a wobble, a left spinning wobble, a left spinning wobble that makes then us go backwards through the zodiac signs. And that's 25,800 years long. And in those 25,800 years, we divide it again through the 12 zodiac signs, which then creates an age. And so we are in the age of Pisces. So behind the sun is the energy of Pisces influencing the sun. Here, having a look at, a deeper look at yourself, and then become clear, have the clarity to act upon it. So that's the 2 readings, right? And the full reading you get on your full moon, which is opposite of you in Cancer next year, which is then from right to left, the soul path. Like here, the soul path is pointing also to the left. And usually now you're getting a reading, a small one, from left to right. Good, so let's begin. On the position of the Fool comes the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is Sun in Virgo. And Sun in Virgo is speaking to you about becoming so skilled in the way you work that you have now the power to do it without even thinking. It's like a soul energy already in your work. You're working really beautifully with this energy, and the state of consciousness of the Fool is having that idea of what I am gonna do now with the knowledge that I have found in the 8 of Pentacles. You are the Pentacles. You are holding that 1 pentacle in your hands. And so here you are invited to now create 2 times a square. But you can also create a square here, right? You can create 3 different squares. And in that 3, body, mind, and spirit, you are arriving in a very balanced outlook of the craft that you're bringing into this world. Now, in the Magician, the rainbow is coming, the number 41. And the 41 is a 5, which is then here connected back to the Pentacles. And here the number 8 is connecting back to the Magician, which is the infinite symbol above his head. So here you are invited through this state of consciousness that is acting upon the Fool, that is saying, okay, I have learned everything there is to learn in my craft, in my work, what I'm going to do with it, how I'm going to act upon it. And you act upon it in a way that you say, okay, I am going the path of the left to right, from the outside to the within. I will inspire myself. This is the path that we go every day. And the path that the Fool is looking at is the soul from within to the out. Learning your craft through the spiritual aspect also in your work. And here you are flying out of the 8 into this bird, the rainbow colors, leaving a trail behind you. And you have the 1 and the 4. The 1 is the Magician right here, and the 4 is that responsibility to act upon, which is then the Emperor, right? The Aries energy. On the position of the High Priestess, which is also a state of consciousness, which is your intuition, comes the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is directly speaking to you through the Court card. There is a Sagittarius here in your life, pushing you to evolve, pushing you to look at things from a different perspective, pushing you to recognize the divinity within you and to become a guardian angel yourself. And here is the black pillar, the white pillar, and here comes this Lord of Flame and Lightning. Very strong energy, comes a fire sign, and you can see how the bird is flying directly now into this energy, and you feel that this intuition of acting and being this transformational energy, what fire is. Fire transforms our ideas into actions. Comes this clear sign through the sun to you. On the position of the Empress comes the Pendu, the Hanged Man, the number 3, with the same 3 that the Empress has, a letting go, a giving birth, and the birth is always the head comes out first, and in that coming out, you're letting go of the money that you are holding on, and you are putting yourself in a state of consciousness that says, I want to change the way I see things. I want to have a different perspective on the way I'm holding on to things. I'm putting my head below my feet, and I am allowing myself to awaken, to rise, to come out of something that has pushed you quite to a level of acting upon things quite severely, because that was what fire does. Right? The Knight of Wands is the fire element of fire. Then comes you. Here I put your Court card, and you're looking over to the Hanged Man and see how all the money comes out, but you're holding on to one, which is the divine financial perspective, the divine material plane that you're holding in your lap, and you see that you must let go of something, of some attachment that you're having with the 4. And so I think you are recognizing this state of consciousness, which is a state that you give birth to. Something new wants to come to you because you recognize the 8 of Pentacles, the craft that you have in your work. You recognize the rainbow, which is then the number 5, the financial, the coin, the 5-pointed star here. And you recognize also the action that you took upon, but now it's time to give birth to a new state of consciousness. Then on the position of the Wheel of Fortune comes here the number 2, the liberty of seeing that she is turning away from her, and the Wheel of Fortune is spinning, is turning, which is connected with Jupiter, and Jupiter is connected with the Sagittarian energy, and the Jupiter symbol is in the leg of the Hanged Man. So there is something speaking to you profoundly, letting go of something that doesn't make sense to you anymore. And interesting enough, this is the card number 14, right? You're the card number 16, which is then a 6, and here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. So here this is then 5 stars, 5 of Pentacle, and she's giving 1 star to the bird, to the dove, and you have here a 1 and a 4. You have 4 stars still up here and 1 star in her hand that she's feeding the dove, almost saying, yes, remember you were the rainbow bird, you liberated yourself, now you put yourself in kind of a state of prison. Come out of it, let go, and see that this one coin, this one star that she's giving him is the truth, is that oneness, it's that unity we're all longing for, and that is going to give you the liberty to awaken, because then on the position of the Sagittarian energy comes the Ace of Stones. And the Ace of Stone is exactly this coin in her lap, in your lap, is this one star, is the energy the Capricorn climbs up that mountain to get this crystal, to get this stone. You are power, you are success, you want to be successful. And here comes the, while you're offering the star to this dove and you are turning this way, while you are realizing, okay, there's a new path that is now going from left to right, the outside also influences the inside. The life here shapes the soul. And so here you are looking into the cycle of the 365 days, and then you get rewarded by a higher consciousness bringing you the coin that you are holding here in your lap. On your position of the keeper of the taboo comes the Queen of Wands, which is Aries. And Aries speaks always about the creativity and the leading capacity someone has to lead others into the success, into something that then becomes a financial success also, right? Because this is the responsibility you have taken on the 4 as the number 4 of the Emperor. And so here you yourself become now a Queen of Wands as well, someone that's acting upon, someone that's actively climbed up to get this coin, someone that's not just sitting there, someone who's evolving, and you are climbing up, right? You are dancing up, right? And so here you have the Queen of Wands, also a cardinal sign, because I mean she is very creative, and she knows also here in her third eye, which is the pentagram pointing at your third eye, that this is the point where you recognize how that oneness is evolving us, is bringing us forward. But the duality is where the game is, where the playfulness is, where the shift is. Then on the position of the Tower, and the Tower is that moment where a higher instance is crashing into the Tower and letting go of the crown, and it's the Tower of Mars. And of course Aries is ruled by Mars, the warrior planet. Here comes the deer. So you are invited to open yourself up to the deer, to the mother within you, a mother that can be active and creative, a mother that's holding the coin, a mother that's nourishing things, and she's looking at us with this beautiful deer eye, and you are asked to bring that out of you. It's an earth sign. No matter how much you have to do here, no matter how much you have to awaken your active side, your fire side here, through the Queen of Wands, through the Knight of Wands, there is fire pushing you to act upon things, right? Because the rainbow is coming. The rainbow is fiery energy as well. So here you are being asked to awaken here, this state of consciousness, the deer. The deer is the mother. The deer is that loving and caring energy that is needed to create new projects. On the position now of the moon, which is Pisces, right? But nevertheless, Pisces, which is also behind the sun. So we're in the age of Pisces, the desire to come out of the deep subconscious waters, and the number 42, again a 4, which is connected with the Queen of Wands, and the 2, which is connected to the liberty, is speaking about the net caster. The preparations come to fruitions. So as you can see, this is the similar light, the similar colors of this gentleness, of this sensitivity, of the deer speaking to you, and it's this desire to evolve. And the moon does that to us, and Pisces does that to us, right? So the age of Pisces is gonna give way to the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is then the star. And you are recognizing through the age of Pisces the net, because where do we put the net? We see here the seahorse, we see here the Piscean energy is giving you the possibility to awaken to the preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectation. And I think it has to do with the gentleness that you are being pushed to release, to become this deer. Endearing is this beautiful word in it. Become endearing. Become here the sensitivity of the deep subconscious that's coming out of the water. Now, on the position, of course, of the devil, the moon, is in, comes here the Queen of Wands, the fire aspect that is looking at that and has a difficult time sometimes with the water, because she's a fire element, but she's the water aspect of fire. The water aspect of fire is steam, right? When we cook it, when we heat the water, it becomes steamy. So very interesting how the net or the net caster is coming out here of your subconscious. On the position of the sun, where now Sagittarius is in, right? Sagittarius is giving energy to the sun, and behind Sagittarius, I find this so fascinating, right? With the, of course, knowledge of the age comes the moon behind Sagittarius. As it's very interesting how this is like an oxymoron. The moon has no light in itself. We would never see the moon if the sun wouldn't give its light. And here it comes. Like all of them are here and pushing on you, giving the light to the moon, which is then behind that, right? This is really, really interesting. So sometimes I have to be careful that I'm not getting too confused about it. Comes the number 2. Another 2 that's saying, okay, find that liberty, which is also here in this 42. Find the liberty to awaken to something that you haven't even realized exists. The clarity to see that the south is where we explore, right? The North Pole has been explored, but the South Pole, it's very interesting. So to go south is about going into adventures. And so in a way it's a way of you coming out of this net and liberate yourself, coming out and really freeing yourself. Because on the position of the sun, right, comes the Ace of Stones. And the Ace of Stones is connected now with Sagittarius, giving you the push, right, through the sun, but also behind it, the Age of Pisces, to go on adventure to the south. Push yourself to new sights and new experiences, and allow them to awaken you, because that's how we grow, right? On the path outside we grow. Then on the position of the awakening, the wake-up call, comes this beautiful card, which is called timing. And timing is speaking about taking your time to explore this through the sun, through Sagittarius, through a new financial push that's coming to you. And the timing says, if you are in the creative flow, you feel everything flowing together in divine order. The number 73, which is a 10, which is a 1 and a 0, and the 1 here becomes then a 10. Timing. Money is timing, even though we want to be in a timeless state, but time is money, and the right timing will bring this state of consciousness to you. You will stand here and play the flute, which is what the Sagittarius wand brings to you, which is the Queen of Wands brings to you, and which is the Knight of Wands bringing to you. So you're standing here in this garden with this bird, with the butterflies, in this big transformation. And having the right timing is important to know when to go, when to move forward, because that right timing is bringing you to the High Priestess, another 2, so you have 3 times the 2, the power to be creative, the power to be intuitive, the power to influence the world on a magic way, so that you can give the healing through the moon, which is, right, like I said, behind the sun in the age of Pisces. So the 222 portal is now seriously saying, recognize that when you give the precious energy away of the gift of doing, of the one, of the magician, the one, the number 1, that 1 star, that is also in your card, the 1 of the 5, which then makes a 6, and the 6 is giving you here a clear understanding of the devil's energy. And on the devil's energy, you remember, was the Queen of Wands, right? So recognize the gift of the number 1, which is connected with the magician, and the 5, which is then the pentagram, the physical understanding of money. And you will, through the 222 portal, see that the time can shift it, that the intuition doesn't need time, and that you are arriving here at the liberty of a new timing that is giving birth to your deepest intuitions, to an intuition that's letting you know all the time, I am awakening to the intuition through Sagittarius, because on the High Priestess is the Knight of Fire, through Sagittarius, who's giving me a perspective on how I attach myself to the dualities, right? That I can liberate myself from through the help of an Aries, that I can awaken to then a new state of consciousness, because the number 6 is connected then with your 6 in the Devil's card. And here comes the 2, and then the 8 as the Fool says, yes, then you know intuitive that you have that gift, that you have your craft, that you have learned everything to be such a powerful woman, because this is almost looking like a hermit, right? And the Sun in Virgo, Virgo is the hermit, right? And so here you are learning to awaken your potential, your intuition into the right timing, into knowing that timing in this state of consciousness doesn't exist. It's that consciousness that gives itself birth out of this duality, but in the end it's always the one and the zero, the timing, that's saying just allow the creative flow. You feel if you are in the creative flow, you feel everything flowing together in divine order. If you are in the creative flow, right, are you in the creative flow? I'm asking you now. So if not, you're gonna be pushed to come into your intuition, to become creative and experience then the right timing to be yourself. Wow, what a beautiful reading. I hope I see you in the next one, because that's when then the earth is spinning around in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Capricorn. So that's your month where you're gonna have the power to be here, the Queen of Wands, the power to take responsibility for your actions, and the power to liberate yourself out of this attachment to the fourth dimension. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.